just going to tell y'all right now, if y'all don't want to see spoilers, this video ain't for you. Today, y'all getting spoiled. We're going to talk about My Hero World's Mission. The movie just came out about a week or so ago. All I got to say is outright, it was pretty dope. It was pretty dope. I do recommend you watching it, but we're going to get into the nitty gritty right here. So this is your spoiler warning. Like,
last chance.
Last chance. All right, there we go. I gave y'all time. This movie starts off with this cult. They believe that people should not have quirks and that it's basically like a disease that people need to get rid of. And so they seek to do that, and they plant bombs in various countries. And so the heroes find out about this, and so they are dispersed throughout the world to get rid of these bombs. So, I mean, literally, from Japan to, like, you know, America or whatever, you know.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
It's literally like that. They're at different countries.
The Egypt one was funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it was very interesting to see all that stuff go down. I think Midoriya was at some place called
Ortheon.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know how to
I know I'm bad at geography, but I never heard.
Never heard of that place either. But
I hope it's real.
Yeah, and
or not. I'm gonna look that up right now while you're talking.
Yeah, it was interesting because they had them all grouped up. It was Todoroki, Bakugo, Midoriya, and then there was like two other people.
I think some of his sidekicks.
Yeah, maybe his sidekick. It was like a big group of people on each clan, and it was like. It wasn't just the heroes. It was also like the number one hero. It was also the other big type heroes that went with them. Anyway, essentially they find out about these bombs and they try to disassemble it, but they're unable to because it required like some type of password or some type of thing. And also you had these villains that came out of nowhere that would attack them, and so they had to fight them. So specifically, the fight scenes were sick. Like, for example, the Todoroki and Bakugo. Those were one of the best ones I've seen. Other than, of course, Midoriya's. But so these villains had what do you call it?
They all used trigger.
Yeah.
And that was the terrible part about those bombs too, because with the bombs, it's so much trigger that it would blow up the quirk users. Yeah. Which is terrible.
Yeah, and this guy, he turned into like this. He was like, looked like a clown, really like a swole clown. Yeah. And he was able to like morph himself into like liquid or something like that. But anyway, like he tackles Todoroki and brings him to the water. I'm not gonna lie, this is like one of my nightmares where like you're in water and like and someone's grabbing you,
just can't.
And then you pull them off you, but then it's like. They magically like reappear on you again, and it's like you can't you know what I'm saying? It's like
drowning you.
Yeah, drowning but that's what it was like because it was around him, and he would pull it off, but then it was just like it was almost like a bleach stain, like it's on you.
A bleach stain.
It's like it's on you, and you can't get that off. That's what it was like for him, and so he was like drowning, and then meanwhile you have Bakugo, who was fighting against this other guy.
Which was like, actually were they twins?
They were twins. They look like twins.
But they had the same quirk, so I wasn't sure if he split into two or what was going on with him, but yeah. Yeah. And just those blades that were coming out everywhere.
And then, he had trouble with them without the steroid. He was able to somehow hold his own for a little bit, but then they actually used it, and then he was having real trouble.
And they were even quicker, and they had more blades at that point. Yeah.
But the biggest fight that I really loved was, of course, Midoriya and this guy named Roddy. I'll tell you about Roddy in a second. But Midoriya, I liked his persistence. That's gonna be key in this film. His persistence.
This fight was cool because, like you were saying, Midoriya just kept persisting. He was persistent, kept pushing back, and that honestly kind of reminded me of All Might's fight with the first Nomu we ever knew was a Nomu and saw, because Midoriya kept punching, and you finally see that it breaking a little bit, like his quirks failing. Yeah. And then it reminded me in that point of All Might being like, you just said that this was an absorption quirk. Yeah. You didn't say it's a nullification. Yeah. He's like, so there's a limit to its powers, and I'm like, yes, get up and then he did.
I love that. I love it when they figure it out. He had the same mindset, like he knew that his quirk was wearing down, and so he kept at it. But obviously this guy was relentless too, because it's not like he can't fight back.
It's an overpowered quirk too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if any of y'all knew who Zora is from Black Clover, what him and Asta were able to do one time was to quadruple the energy.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not exactly the same, but it kind of is, because if you just think of like physics and anything, your time you stop, like there. It's a nerd. It's been a while since I've taken physics.
It's a nerd.
But the force of just getting stopped at a wall is kind of like, it'll impact you more than if you were able to punch in and move that object.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And for anybody who understands physics more than me, because it's not my specialty.
I never took physics, so I have no.
You've lived it.
Matter.
He's lived it. You don't have to take it.
Yeah, football.
So this enemy guy, he was born with a quirk that would reflect anything.
Everything.
So he couldn't ever, like, his parents didn't.
Oh yeah,
they kind of like left him or didn't even try anymore to reach out to him. His friends the same way. And then what we saw with Midoriya's quirk, anytime he would punch, Midoriya would get the same energy punched right back at him. So he couldn't do anything. And we're talking about with Midoriya's hit.
Midoriya gets to this point where he figures it out, and so he keeps attacking, but this guy's attacking too. Mm-hmm. And by the way, this guy has like mirrors around him while he's reflecting, so he can reflect these beams to hit him too. Yeah. So while he's attacking and reflecting, like trying to dodge from these beams, he's running for his life and trying to attack him at the same time. And he's worrying about Roddy too, because he had the control to turn off the bomb, but he had to be in the vicinity. But he gets beat up really bad, Midoriya, and Roddy comes in, and then he reveals. So before I get to that, Roddy lived in a trailer home, and he lived with his little brother and sister, taking care of them. And he would try to find these little odd jobs here and there just to get by. But he was kind of like a funny dude. But he seemed like he was like a liar throughout the whole movie, but he really wasn't. How Midoriya and Roddy meet is one day Midoriya bumps into Roddy because he has something that he was looking for, and essentially Roddy was trying to get away, and Midoriya ends up catching him, and that's generally how they met. But anyway, since that day, so Rodney has always been afraid or embarrassed to reveal what his quirk was, and during this fight, he realizes what his quirk was. Midoriya does, and what he does was he looks like he's about to hand off the remote to the enemy, and then he flicks it up in the air. And I'll tell you this, I'm not gonna lie, the way I saw Roddy dodge reminded me of Ultraman. I'm just gonna say it. It reminded me, because he was pretty nice when he was dodging sometimes. Like, I was like, as a normal human being, you should not be able to do that. But it was kind of nice.
I thought he was gonna have the power to teleport or something.
Oh yeah,
that's what I thought his whole.
That would have been cool. But I get what he was coming from, because his quirk was he had this bird on him, and his quirk was his bird will portray his real feelings. So even though sometimes he would lie, he couldn't lie. You could always tell if he was what he was really feeling. While he was handing this guy the remote which was like the key to the bombs, he flicks it up. Midoriya thinks he's betraying him this whole time. But the bird looks at Midoriya and is like, no, do it.
Yeah, he's looking at like a flag countdown. He's like, 1, 2, he's like, go.
He's like, go. That was to the point when he like threw the switch up, and then Midoriya rushed him. And so that's when he made his move to go into the lair. Mm-hmm. But he got hit pretty badly.
Lasers.
And he got into the lair, but almost literally lost his life doing it. The craziest part right here was when Midoriya was literally at his end. I love this part because it just shows you not only the willingness, but also the idea of him being able to do anything for his friends, for the sake of his friends. Midoriya looks like he powers up to 100%.
If you remember what he looked like in the previous movie, if you remember what he looked like
with Eri
and fighting Overhaul, that's what we got to see.
But the best part that I liked about it, I don't know if y'all watched. I'm sorry, y'all. I mentioned Dragon Ball Z a lot. The part that I liked the best was on how they did it. Was it literally looked like he was gonna go Super Saiyan or something. He was like crouched down, like he was really mad, and then his hair just flared up like instantly, and then you see his eyes like kind of just change, and he was like, "You will not hurt my friends" or something, and he just, dude, it looked like he was going through dimensions. the way he was going.
For real, after the movie, I was telling Devin this. I said, listen, it's going to be so cool to see once we have all of Midoriya's quirks revealed in the anime, because we're not reading the manga.
Yeah.
All those quirks revealed in the anime, going back, I'm like, wow, at this point, and this point, and this point, Midoriya was actually able to kind of access that quirk just for a little bit. And I'm thinking, I'm betting he did here, because it looked like he was either teleporting or breaking the sound barrier.
Yes.
Like, he literally threw multiple punches, and the guy didn't even realize
Dude,
it, and then boom. And
y'all remember this? If y'all watch,
man.
if y'all watch Tournament of Power, and y'all remember that scene at the very end where Jiren and Goku are going hand in hand, and he just said, did one of those, and he didn't move? That's what Midoriya did. He just said, and it was weird because there was a point where he was like frozen, like the screen like froze, and you just see like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And he's just like doing the same thing, and he's like, dude. I was like,
we saw a glimpse of that with Overhaul too, and it was like, I think at the end it ended up with one big punch. But that's the thing, like, he not only did he like move so fast where the villain couldn't see him, he started moving so fast I think the screen couldn't even see him.
Yeah,
it's like we couldn't even comprehend him anymore.
Dude.
So we became the little Krillins or the Gohan when he's a kid saying, I can't see.
Yeah, seriously,
that's what we became.
But literally in that moment, he did similarly what All Might did to that Nomu.
Yeah,
like he
really did
defeated not the nullification, but the reflection off of him.
The amount of mirrors that he had would kind of reflect in a way how much he could reflect back.
Right.
So as the mirrors started decreasing, that's when you see his like turning back to his skin, turning back to normal.
Yeah.
And then like Midoriya's realizing this. It was so funny to see because the tables really flipped when Roddy showed up.
Yeah.
Because once Roddy went to the other room, it no longer became the villain protecting that room. It became Midoriya protecting that room. Yeah. And then that's when it like we got to see him go plus ultra. And that's when he said that, I was like, man, that's true. He said, no, you gave up to the villain. He's like, you gave up, quit trying to reach out to people. You quit trying to fit into this world anymore. Like, yes, the parents, that's hurtful. Yes, your friends don't want to talk to you anymore. That's hurtful. But you still gave up. Like, you still could have reached out to other people.
Right.
And that's kind of like, he went plus ultra. That's what Midoriya said. We don't give up here as heroes.
Yeah, that's not us.
Yeah, that's what. Then that's the cool thing because when they found out about this whole code that's going to destroy the device that was prepared by Roddy's dad, which I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah.
But it was still good to see. And they decided, you know what, we can't tell the other heroes about this that are out there in the field because what are they going to do? They're going to keep doing what they're doing because they're going to try in all their might to protect the people that are there and to destroy the bomb there.
Right.
So when they had to go off on their own, I was like, oh man, we got the big three coming out.
Yeah.
And then, All Might's over there like cheering them on, and that was really cool to see.
I think that's what pushed him. No, we thought about All Might, and he was like, nah. Yeah. I'm not gonna film my hero, and he just went plus ultra. But yeah, I was gonna say it was kind of hard hearing because they had no choice. Like Roddy's dad, being the one who actually made the bomb.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he literally had no choice. It was like that or die.
Well, yeah, that or kill your family too.
Yeah.
Because that's what it seemed like every scientist that joined. And that's the thing, like Roddy was in that like slum area because everybody rejected his family, kind of the same way everybody rejected that reflection guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, your dad left for this cult, so we don't want to be a part of you anymore. We don't want you in our society. He couldn't even really get a good job. That's why he started becoming a criminal. And so I guess both those guys' lives kind of reflect each other. There's a lot of reflection talk in this. I mean, it makes sense. The villain's got mirrors. So I don't know. It was kind of, that part was kind of sad. But I will say the whole movie leading up to the end would be slow. Then there'd be a fast-paced scene. Slow, then fast-paced scene. And I do think that really suffered in my mind because I was really looking forward to seeing a lot of the other cast members. Yeah. Because I like all of Class 1A, and there was a few Class 1B guys fighting in there too with the heroes. That was kind of disappointing for me. And then in the action scenes that we did get in between those slower parts, where Midoriya was with Roddy and they were just running away from that girl that kept shooting a bow and arrow at him. Those scenes were really cool because it showed the mastery of the Black Whip. It showed the mastery of his quirks, still the Air Force and everything. He was using them all at the same time. So
I mean that was crazy. The Air Force. He was like, it was like natural for him. Like he improved a lot. So I don't know if these movies that they created are gonna be part of the canon. I don't think so. I'm starting not to think so, but maybe. Who knows? But I'm excited to actually see that implemented in the actual anime.
Same.
That would be kind of cool.
Because time-wise, this is supposed to take place while he's doing his internship.
Right.
Or not internship, work study, I guess, with Endeavor. So, yeah, season 6, I'm ready to see this kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but that last scene almost had me when he actually saved Roddy. They had like a flashback moment. Basically, that Rodney wasn't useful. It was back going to what Rodney thought about himself. How he was like no good. You know, people don't need me. People, there's no need for me. It's kind of like this like depression talk, But then Midoriya tells him like, you were like, this was necessary. You're awesome. Like your quirk was much needed and like you're amazing and all this stuff. And then they have that little bro to bro moment right there. Mm-hmm. I think that was cool. I'm not gonna lie, that part almost got me, but it didn't.
I'm a man.
Oh man. Okay, there's another part. There's another part when they leave. I think this is
in the airport.
Yeah, in the airport when he says, "Don't come back," because I don't want to ever see you again.
Yeah.
But the bird, you can see the bird, and the bird's like crying. He was like,
Yeah.
"I don't want you ever coming back again." And so Midoriya sees like his feelings and sees him, and he hugs him. He was like, "I promise you, I'll return." And he says, "No, I told you don't come back." But that was good. That the ending was really good. I like what they did. You know what? But I did like what that person said when he came in at the very end. He said, "This is not a Marvel movie. You have to get out."
Oh, someone told. I think they were joking because it literally in the credits, there's clips of what's going on with everybody after the fight, and one of those had just ended. So when they came in and said that, I was like, I'm not saying anything because I don't want to.
I'm like, maybe we know that. Maybe we just want to stay and just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, I paid for the full movie.
Yeah,
that means credits too.
Exactly.
That's right.
They matter too.
Now this might be controversial, or as the British say, controversy.
Stop it. Get some help.
But I really wasn't a fan of Todoroki's fight at all.
Okay.
Because I felt like he didn't get his shine as much. Yes, he had the explosion one that he does, the heat wave one,
mm-hmm.
and then he also had the other one that he did, which it seems to me like his version of Prominence Burn.
Yeah.
But it didn't really seem like he got to shine his fight. The whole time he was being overpowered, and then he was drowning for most of this fight.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like that because it just really felt like they didn't really give him a chance to shine. Like Bakugo, 100%.
Oh yeah.
That man shined.
He did.
He was good. He like literally at the end, a bloody eye, like blood vessels had busted there. And then Midoriya shined.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of just like forgot about Todoroki.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, I agree because I mean, like you said, he was just drowning the whole time. No. And then you see Bakugo take on two people, and towards the end, he uses this crazy like funnel attack to
mm-hmm.
defeat both of them, and then he's like. He finishes off and he's like, "You idiot."
Yeah.
But then he like passes out. But like that tells you like I gave it my all.
Yeah.
But you never get that when you see Todoroki. You just kind of like it's almost like I hope everyone else is doing well type moment. That was it.
And maybe that's what they wanted. Maybe they wanted you to see the kind of villains that they can fight. So like Midoriya goes past his limits and can fight someone who seems like an immovable object.
Mm-hmm.
You see with Bakugo, he's able to eventually keep up with two speedsters. Super quick, and they have long range attacks too. And then with Todoroki, you see someone who is able to take on a villain who was way bigger than him.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I guess I could have seen as overpowered.
Yeah.
And for a little bit through the movie, I thought maybe he needed to switch with Bakugo.
What I thought was going to happen is maybe he takes him on for a little bit. Maybe Bakugo quickly finishes up with his fight, and then he comes help him.
And this just might go to show that Todoroki actually has more power than we thought.
Oh yeah.
Able to take on someone that big.
But
I just wanted to see more. I just wanted to see more fighting from him.
Yeah. They need it. Yeah. Three amigos. They need the shine. They need it. Yeah. Overall, good movie. Reminded me of the old one, the most recent one. I think it was the one where I don't remember what it's called. Okay. The one with Bakugo and Midoriya where they both went plus ultra or 100%.
Yeah.
When Midoriya gave him the quirk, which also that made me think in this movie maybe the reason that worked if they're tied together is because when he goes 100%, his quirk is so strong that it can actually temporarily transfer over. Because I don't think in the other movie he got that permanently.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, so it was just a temporary. But I think because it was like overpowered that he could actually transfer, and that's why. And maybe that's why that was like the first time we saw Midoriya do what he did, like without Aries' help. You know, maybe that's why that happened. Maybe there's a difference between him reaching 100% on his own versus someone else helping him reach 100%. And maybe there's an increased Zenkai boost, or you know.
His arms were destroyed though afterwards. It didn't look like they were broken,
Yeah.
but they were definitely damaged. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. That's another thing we were talking about after the movie. You know, what did we with the quirk thing? Is that one of his quirks that we saw from the old movie? Like, was he actually able to transfer power to someone else?
Yeah.
Like, is that part of a quirk that he's got too?
Yeah.
Which would be interesting because that's a huge buff for teammates.
Yeah.
So
That would be. He'd be like.
imagine Bakugo.
He'd be like
that.
Airy. He'd be like All Might. He'd be like.
I said, imagine Bakugo getting the boost from Midoriya. I'm like, oh wait, we did see that.
Yeah.
Duh. It was the last movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, I would recommend definitely.
Oh yeah.
Watching it. It's a good movie. Like we said, I mean, we're just being honest. The movie gets a little slow from the beginning, about to the middle, on and off, as far as the story goes. But afterwards, it starts to pick up. The fight scenes, you know, start to pop off. And then you start seeing the action. The action is worth it. I'm telling you, just the action is worth it. I would, yeah, definitely go for the action. Also, the story is necessary, so you get to appreciate and know the character. Roddy is pretty cool. I mean, pretty dope personality. You'll get to understand why he does what he does in the beginning, towards the end. Everything will start to make sense. Context matters. That's basically what I'm trying to say. All in all, I would give this. I'll give it an 8. An 8.
An 8? Okay.
Yeah. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I was debating this in my head, and I think I'm gonna give it
6.
No, I'm not gonna go as low as a 6.
7.5.
I'm gonna break even at 7.5.
Ah, okay.
And that's only because I really wasn't engaged with the minutes where it wasn't fighting.
Yeah.
Like, the story was okay. I wasn't really behind Roddy the whole time, and I don't know. I wasn't involved. Maybe I was tired. I don't know. What do y'all think about this? Like, what kind of score would you give the movie? Were you engaged the whole time? Am I completely wrong? Let me know, because I could be.
Thank y'all for watching and supporting our channel. Don't forget to check out our social media accounts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about this movie review.
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Rumble. And if you like us, you can follow our friends on YouTube as well. You have Jfrizl, Clammy, and Bloxtun for gaming, Rich Latin for short films, Orctex08 for sermons, and Thought You Should Know podcast that discusses all things mental health.
With that said, I'm Devin.
I'm Noah.
And we'll see y'all next time. Peace.